Okay, hi guys. So this is the College Algebra Chapter 2 practice test. Okay, again, on my book it's page 301. Again, I have the 12th edition of the book. Okay, so questions numbers 2 through 6 all have to do with this graph that I just plotted over here that you can see. Okay, so the 2 points were -2, 1, and so I went over 1, 2 to the left for -2, and I went up 1 point for that 1 for the y value. And that was over here, and then I did 3, 4. So over to the right, 1, 2, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4 for this point 3, 4. Okay? Now, question 2 wants to know what is the slope of the line? Okay? Again, we have the points -2, 1, and 3, 4. I'm going to label them x1, y1, and x2, y2. Okay, and I'm going to use my slope formula. So my slope says that we have y equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So my slope is equal to, my y2 is 4, minus my y1 is 1. So 4 minus 1 up top. And then x2 is 3, and x1 is -2. So 3 minus -2 in my denominator. So I get that m is equal to 4 minus 1 is 3. And then 3 minus a -2 would be that I'm doing 3 plus a +2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So my slope is 3 over 5. Okay? So that's how you can do it using your slope formula, which I hope by now you guys all know. The other way to do it is to remember that your slope is equal to your rise over your run. Right? So I can start at this point of -2, 1, and my rise means how many do I go up? So from -2, I go up, from 1 rather, I go up to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I go up my rise, and then my run. Right? So my rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 points, right? 1, 2, 3 points. So my rise is 3. And my run is 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So again, this is your rise over your run. Your rise being 3, your run being 5. So again, this is 3 over 5. Okay? The next question, number 3, sorry. Okay, so question number 3 wants to know what is the distance, okay, the distance between these 2 points. Okay, so we have a distance formula. So the distance formula is that the distance is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, so I'm going to find out distance equals the square root. My x2, again, my points are still -2, 1, and 3, 4. So my x2 is 3 minus a -2, and all of that is squared, plus my y2 is 4 minus 1, and all of that is squared. And so then I get that my distance is equal to the square root. Again, 3 minus a -2 becomes a +5. So 5 squared plus 4 minus 1 is 3 squared. Okay, so my distance is equal to the square root of 25 plus 9 my distance is equal to the square root of 34. And now I cannot break 34 down any further, right? Factors of 34 are 2 and 17. 17 is a prime number, so that's as far as I can go there. So my distance is equal to the square root of 34, and my slope is 3 over 5. Okay, so question 4 wants to know what are the coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, again, between these two same points, -2, 1, and 3, 4. Okay, so midpoint just means you're finding the average between your x values and your y values, right? You're looking for that point that's in between these two. So your midpoint formula says that I'm going to take the average of my x values, so x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and the average of my y values, so y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay? So my midpoint is equal to my x1 is -2 plus my x2 is 3 over 2, and y1 is 1, and y2 is 4 over 2, so that my midpoint is the point -2 plus 3 is 1 over 2, and 1 plus 4 is 5 over 2. So my midpoint is the point 1/2 and 5/2. 5/2, right? So that's, if you're looking at it decimal wise, it's 0.5 and 2.5, right? So if I go over here, so I go over 1/2 point, which is some in the middle of 0, 1, and I go up 2.5 points. 1, 2.5 should be right about there. That's where my midpoint is. Okay, and this is 1/2 and 5/2. Okay. Okay, so question 5 says find the standard form of the equation of the line. So standard form is that ax plus by equals c form. Now what's important to remember here is that a, b, and c must all be integers. Okay, and remember our integers means that we can have no fractions. Okay, and also a must be positive. Okay, so a has to be greater than or equal to 0. All right, now knowing that, we're going to use the fact, right? We found our slope in question number 2. Our slope was equal to 3 over 5. And so we're going to start with our point slope formula, right? So y minus y1 is equal to your slope times x minus x1. Okay, again, my points are -2, 1, and 3, 4. You can pick either point. I'm going to pick that -2, 1 and work from there. So y minus 1 is equal to 3/5 times x minus -2. Okay, y minus 1, I'm just going to simplify this a little, is equal to 3 over 5 times x plus 2. I'm going to distribute this 3/5. So I get y minus 1 is equal to 3/5 x plus 3/5 times 2. And it means I do 3 times 2, 6 over 5, 6/5. And I'm going to add 1 on both sides. So get that y is equal to 3/5 x. 1 is the same as 5 over 5. And so 6 plus 5 is 11 over 5, right? When I'm adding fractions, if they have the same denominator, I keep the denominator and I add my numerators. Right? Okay. Now, from here, this is not standard form, right? But from here, we need to write it into our ax plus by form, right? So we have y equals 3/5 x plus 11/5, right? And so I'm going to subtract 3/5 x on both sides. And so I get negative 3/5 x plus y equals 11/5. Okay. Well, now remember my a must be positive, and I cannot have any fractions. This a is negative, so I need to multiply by a negative. And I also need to multiply by 5 to get rid of that 5 in my denominator. So I'm going to multiply everything by negative 5. Every term here by negative 5. Okay, so these 5's cancel out. These negatives cancel out, so I'm left with 3x minus 5y is equal to, again, these 5's cancel out, but I still have a negative, negative 11. Okay, and that is your standard form. Okay, my a is positive, and I do not have any fractions. A, b, and c are all integers. Okay, so question 6 says write the linear function f of x equals ax plus b. It has this line as its graph. That's all it wants you to do is write your line in the form of f of x equals ax plus b. So we're going to take that standard form that we just found in our previous example, and we're going to solve it into, rewrite it in y equals ax plus b form. Okay? So I'm just going to solve for y. Okay. Solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. So I get negative 5y equals negative 3x plus 11. I'm going to divide by negative 5 so that I get equals negative 11, sorry. Sorry. So this should be minus 11 here. So this was equals negative 11. So I'm going to divide by negative 5. This becomes y equals negative 3/5 x minus 11 over negative 5. Okay. Again, I'm going to reduce, right? So negative divided by a negative means that I have a positive. I'm going to rewrite my y as f of x. Negative 3 divided by negative 5 gives me a positive 3 divided by a positive 5. Negative 11 divided by a negative 5 means I have a positive 11 divided by a positive 5. Okay, so that is my f of x equals 3/5 x plus 11. Okay. If you remember when we were solving for question number 5 in that ax plus by equals c standard form, we had already found this, but if not, if you weren't, if you hadn't done that, then this is how you would do that. So you can start from your standard form and just solve for your y. Okay. All right, next question we'll be looking, I'll add this to the next question. Number 7 will be on the next video.